Good morning. We're just about to get going here. So let me put up our screen here. Look at our lesson this week. Go to our grade screen as usual. We had firewalls last week. We're down to intrusion prevention. Intrusion prevention. That'd be good. Preventing intrusions would be good. And then next week we have access management. We're about to wrap up this unit right here. And Alora's going to graduate pretty quickly there in May, so we're not going to have a whole lot more left for Alora. Let's see, intrusion prevention lesson. Here we go. A firewall's primary role is to filter network traffic, right? Early firewalls only detected threats, which was half the job. Think of it like a home alarm that alerts authorities and the alarm company when an intruder tries to break in. Right? An intrusion prevention systems, or IPS, takes it a step further and will lock down a network. Like the bars closing on the windows. If an intruder is detected, everything closes up. So an IPS, intrusion prevention system, filters network traffic, but it bases its decision on an analysis of malicious traffic patterns, and it records information about them. With an IPS, administrators can take specific actions based on detected traffic patterns. IPS solutions can also be used to identify issues within corporate security policies, deterring employees and network guests from violating the rules that these policies contain. So you have your corporate network and you have your firewall. All traffic passes through the IPS, the router and the internet. So anything from the internet trying to come in can be prevented from ever getting to the firewall, the prevention system, to getting into the network. So here's the different threats that an IPS is designed to prevent. Worms, viruses, denial of service attacks, and DDoS attacks. All right, so these are the ones that it's trying to keep out that firewalls struggle with a lot of times. So similar to security checking travelers at the airport before clearing them to fly, an IPS inspects every packet that travels across the network. If it sees anything malicious or suspicious packets, it will do the following. It will end the network session that's been exploited. It'll just kick them out. It'll apply a temporary filter on the firewall to block the IP address of the attacker. It'll throttle the bandwidth to attacking hosts, applying complex firewall filters. And it will modify the suspect packets to render them harmless, basically take them out of play. Some intrusion prevention systems prevent antivirus scanning. Their rule sets can be configured to provide user content filtering, like blocking URLs or applying time-based access restrictions. Can't access it between this time and this time. An IPS is positioned like a firewall at the border between two network zones. All right, important. An IPS can also be configured to prevent confidential data from going out. Maybe you've got someone in your company that's not happy with the company and they're trying to send out secrets. So it can also stop that from happening. These can be used to implement data loss prevention, right? DLP, data loss prevention. Security devices that bundle multiple functions like a firewall, an IPS, anti-malware, data loss prevention, and secure VPN are known as unified threat management. Tries to do a little of everything, UTM appliances. So if you have your internet traffic going out or in, it passes through this UTM, which it looks for viruses. It has that firewall, has the IPS, and a passive vulnerability scanner. So it protects people from either direction causing problems. Types of prevention. And intrusion prevention systems typically configured to use several different approaches to protect the network. So here's some of the methods. Signature-based. This approach uses predefined signatures of well-known network threats. The IPS maintains a growing database of these signatures, much like the FBI keeps a database of criminals, makes arrests if they capture a known criminal from their database. So when an attack starts that matches one of these signatures or patterns, the system takes necessary action. So that's constantly being updated as new threats are identified that are known to be out on the internet. Policy-based. This approach requires administrators to configure security policies according to organizational security policies and the network infrastructure. When an activity occurs that violates one of these security policies, an alert is triggered and sent to the administrators. So whatever it finds. There's anomaly-based. This approach monitors for any unexpected behavior. Oh, wait, why did that happen? If a glitch is detected, the system immediately blocks access to whatever the targeted host caused that anomaly. So it's important to note that a false positive can prevent legitimate traffic. Yeah, maybe it kicks out something that really wasn't malicious, but it wasn't sure. High volumes of false positives can prevent network administrators from catching active attacks. So you really try to limit those, because with a lot of those going on, they'll just go, oh, let's just let it all through because obviously our system's messing up. Well, that can cause active attacks to be let through as well. Honeypots. A honeypot's a computer system set up to attract attackers with the intention of analyzing attack strategies and tools. It's kind of like a fake station, right? We're leaving it intentionally to see if we can lure someone in. This detects early warnings of attack attempts and serves as a potential distraction to divert attention from actual systems. Additionally, honeypots can detect internal fraud and snooping. They may catch somebody inside the company through a honeypot. So advantages of using honeypots include the following. Fewer false positives because no legitimate traffic uses the honeypot. It's set up intentionally to not be a real user on the internet there on the network. It collects actual and useful information since they only log the illegitimate activity. It works in encrypted environments, and it do not require known attack signatures because they're just catching anything that is attracted to the honeypot. They're not always perfect, though. Weaknesses are as follows. They can potentially be detected by the attacker. Maybe the attacker can tell, oh, wait a minute, this is not a real part of their network. It can be used by an attacker to attack other systems. Since it is inside your network, they might use it as a route in. And it can only monitor interactions made directly with the honeypot. It can't detect attacks against other systems. So in 2015, one of these little did you knows, cybersecurity professionals created an online railway control system as honeypot bait. The aim was to study how cyber criminals would attack projects that could potentially put the public at risk. In this case, the only damage done was to a model train set at a German technology conference. Project Honey Train suffered 2.7 million attacks in just 2 weeks. It was like at a cybersecurity convention. They set this up just to show people. 2.7 million attacks in 2 weeks. That just tells you how much is going on out there. Just insane amount of cybersecurity attacks. People just trying to attack anything and everything they can find to create chaos and steal information. Let's talk about security policies. Firewalls and other intrusion methods protection methods are vital, right? Because there's 2.7 million attacks in 2 weeks. However, it's important to note that insider threats are the leading cause of cybersecurity breaches. People that are inside your company. The inside threat doesn't necessarily mean the insider has malicious intent. Most of the time, an employee makes a mistake. Because that can happen too, like acting on a phishing email, which leads to a security breach. We got some of those this month here at the school where all the teachers got these fake emails about FedEx packages. And if people are clicking on the tracking number, that's an inside security breach. But most of the time, those teachers had no idea what they were doing. They were just like, what? I don't understand this. And they click on it. So that's what network administrators also have to work against. So generally when they spot those emails, they send out an email to everybody real quick. Don't click on this. Don't click on this. Clear cybersecurity policies and regular employee training will not eliminate user error, but the frequency and severity of the incidents can be reduced. If people start recognizing, like a lot of us knew, okay, that's fake. That's going to create a problem. Don't click on that. A security policy should support security awareness in the organization and, in general terms, outline the risk, guidelines, and responsibilities. So these three mechanisms can be used to help establish these secure practices. Standard. A standard is a measure used to evaluate compliance with the policy. All right, our standard is if you don't recognize an email, don't click on it. Procedure. A procedure is often referred to as a standard operating procedure or an SOP. It's an inflexible, step-by-step list of actions that must be completed on any given task. When this happens, here's the standard operating procedure. You do this every time. Here's what you do. And then guidance. Guidelines exist for areas of policy where there's no procedures, either because the situation has not been fully assessed or because the decision-making process is too complex. You may have problems in there that don't happen regularly. They really haven't been able to see the extent of everything. Or there's not just a standard policy because it's not a simple fix. All right, knowledge check. All right, get another one of these knowledge checks to end our lesson. An IPS can provide an active response to any network threat that it matches. This can include ending a TCP session, sending a spoofed TCP reset packet to the attacking host, or applying a temporary filter on the firewall to block the IP address. So let's check our knowledge. Got to match each with its description. So we have a policy-based IPS. We have just an IPS. We have a honeypot. We have an anomaly-based IPS or a procedure. So let's start with honeypot. That should be easiest. So let's see. Does that deal with the protection of items? Is that monitor for unexpected behavior? Is that a step-by-step list of actions? Is that a form of network security that works to detect and prevent threats? Or is that a computer system set up to attract attackers? Okay, I think we know this one, guys, right? The honeypot, it's sticky honey. It attracts insects. It attracts hackers. It's a system set up to attract attackers. All right, so that would disappear. Let's see. Let's do procedure next. Which one is the procedure? The first, second, third, or fourth? Deals with protection items, monitors for any unexpected behavior. It's an inflexible step-by-step list. Dallin says that's 3. Right, yeah, the procedure is the list of actions. Here's our procedure. It's inflexible. This is what we do every time. All right, that's easy. Let's see a policy-based. Policy-based. Deals with protection of items, monitors for unexpected behavior. If a glitch is detected, it blocks the target host. And it's a form of network security that works to detect and prevent threats. Policy. Let's try that one. Yes, you're right, Dylan. IPS. Does it monitor for unexpected behavior? If a glitch is detected, it blocks access. Or is it a form of network security that works to detect and prevent identified threats? Now, these are both very similar, but let's try the second one. IPS. Perfect. Got this. And anomaly-based is looking for that glitch, that anomaly, that odd thing that happened. So, good job. All right, that's the end of the lesson. Talking about intrusion prevention. Best way to protect your networks to not let the bad thing in the first place. Our assignment this week, how is that different from a firewall? What's an intrusion protection system usually placed? Where's it at? 5 questions. 5 questions, as usual. As usual, our 5 questions. All good stuff. We've got a lot of good information we've learned about cybersecurity this year. So I'm going to wrap it up. I guess that's our lesson. Pretty short this week. So, all right, guys, if you got any questions? This is an A day, so I'll be here Wednesday and Friday if you have questions. Otherwise, have a fabulous week. Go enjoy your Monday. It's going to warm up.